10 o'clock, and I will call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum, and I would ask that we have an opening prayer. And who would that be, please? Right. Would you like to come up here to the mic, or?
I have it on the email.
We need all the guidance you can give us, so.
Please pray with me. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, I pray for your presence and your guidance during this meeting. Satisfy the needs that need to be met. Strengthen and guide our commissioners as they are called to make decisions for our county. I pray that they will be fruitful. Please guide them so that this meeting can be productive and let them be effective and decisive. I ask that you grant them wisdom as they make some tough decisions in this meeting. Help them to carefully consider the relevant information that will be gathered and presented. May those sharing information give pertinent points to everyone so that everyone can clearly understand. Help them to wisely evaluate the option, and then help them to be unified in making the best possible decisions and effectively carry them out. And finally, Lord, I ask that you guide them toward the best way to take actions to accomplish the goals that are set today. Help them to tackle all the topics that need to be discussed and to come up with excellent solutions. And that everyone will leave this meeting inspired and on time. In the name of Jesus Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Hollowell.
You'll join me in the pledges. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
honor
The
the
Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
What? Oh, I thought I started saying I messed it up. I'm capable of messing it up.
Thank you again. Do we have anybody signed up for public comments on agenda items?
We do not.
We do not. Takes care of item number 5. Item number 6, the consent agenda. And the consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the county or the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda.
I got a motion to approve the consent agenda as it is.
Commissioner Snuggs makes the motion to approve the consent agenda as is. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. The consent agenda passes 5-0. Item number 7 is open a public hearing regarding amended plat of Lot 11 of the Dove Landing subdivision in Precinct 3. We'll open that public hearing at 10:04. Does anyone here wish to speak to the Dove Landing subdivision plat? If not, I will close the public hearing at 10:05, item number 8. And item number 8 is no action. Item number 9, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the amended plat of Lot 11 of the Dove Landing subdivision of Precinct 3. And that will also open at 10:06.
Amber, this is just a easement deal, right? For I move to approve.
Okay.
I thought we did that one last time.
This is a different lot. They're bringing
Different
power
lot.
on one of them.
I'll second
Okay.
it.
Did we approve the previous one?
We're on 9 right now, y'all all, I'm lost. You open another public hearing on 9?
Yeah,
Do what now?
got to keep
That's what he
up.
said, but no, 9,
We're on 9.
we're on 9, right? You don't have to open it because you've done open and close it, so.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
What?
I didn't hear him.
If you opened it again, right?
Oh, you're right, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm a little
Thank you,
confused.
Pam,
I
for,
thought, you said no action too, so I thought, did we do 9?
no, I said no action on 8. I was premature. Item number 9 was to approve the amended plat of Lot 11, which the motion was made by Commissioner Arndt. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. So item number 9 passes 5-0. Thank you, Pam. Item number 10 is to open a public hearing regarding the preliminary plat for the Era addition in Precinct 3, and I'll open that one at 10:07. Got ahead of myself, didn't I?
That's okay.
Anybody wish to speak to the plat in Era?
Just where is that one? Right there to the edge here, is the water deal.
No. This is on 365.
If not, item number 11 is close the public hearing. And I will do that at 10:08. Item number 12, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the preliminary plot for Era addition in Precinct 3.
This is just a subdivision with 4 lots. It's on 365. Like I say, we're just in a preliminary on it. But all the lot sizes are to our specs. Drainage easements and everything are there. Preliminary, I move to approve on preliminary.
Commissioner Art moves to approve the preliminary on the plat for Era addition in Precinct 3. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second. Commissioner Sicking. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Item passes 5-0. Item 13, open a public hearing regarding the preliminary plat for Cloud 9 in Precinct 2. And I will open that public hearing at 10:10.
I was here last week on that, or 2 weeks ago with,
Would you like to come up to the, if you would please, and identify yourself and tell us what you want to tell us?
well, I'm Steve Scribner. Mr. Passon's in here today, but I really don't have a lot unless y'all have some questions. It's just 3 lots. They're all over 2.5 acres in size. There's already the existing home on one of the lots, so it'd really just be adding 2 new lots theoretically. There's 2 stock tanks on each one of those lots already. One of them's hard corner, frontage on two sides there of it. The property back behind it backs up to a cemetery, so there's really not going to be any growth. It's just going to be these 2 lots, 2 new lots.
Where is that, actually?
Mount Pleasant Road.
Okay.
Behind
Gotcha.
the Mountain Springs Bible Church.
Yep.
Got access to the cemetery.
But if y'all got any questions, I'll be glad to answer them other than
Okay.
that.
Yeah, it opens to the highway.
Anybody have any questions on that one? All right, if there's no further comments, item number 14, we will close the public hearing at 10:11. Item number 15 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the preliminary plat for Cloud 9 in Precinct 2.
Everything's in order on this one, and P&Z blessed it last time, so I make a motion, we approve the preliminary.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Snuggs to approve the preliminary plat for Cloud 9 in Precinct 2. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. That motion passes 5-0.
Amber, that one should be easy. It'll just come back, right back, because we're not gonna do any drainage or anything on it.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank y'all.
You bet. Item number 16 is to deliberate and consider the possible approval of naming a private road off Prairie Grove Road in Precinct 2, Harper's Way. Commissioner Snuggs, what would you,
So with the 911 addressing, they can't have more than, if they're 5 or under on the addresses on that road, they can keep it. How's that work? Do you know?
It's 5.
Yeah, but so it's not named right now, though.
No, they're using Prairie Grove Road.
Okay,
as their address.
so they have a long private road, and if you get to 5 addresses on that road, which this is a family that has built lots back here, when you get to 5, TCOG says we have to name the road because the ambulances, it's too hard to, or ambulances and fire trucks to find the addresses. So this is just a formality to name a road that's already there. So they want to name it Harper's Way because I guess that's the family name. So it doesn't matter to me. I make a motion, we approve it.
we have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs, to approve the naming the private road off Prairie Grove Road in Precinct 2, Harper's Way. And I'll second that. All in favor? Any opposed? There are none. Item number 16 passes 5-0. Item number 17, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the Cooke County Title VI plan.
Good morning.
Good
Morning.
morning.
So this is the Title VI plan that's required for text dot compliance with some grants that we receive. Page 5 of this requires someone to be assigned as the Title VI coordinator. So this whole plan has to do with grants, roads, and the general public. So I'm requesting that person not be me, but the court needs to decide who that coordinator will be to take care of the plan and follow through with what is in the plan and required of the county.
And you don't want it to be you, huh?
No. It's hard as a Department of One to take care of employees, so I don't really want to take care of the plan that deals with the roads and grants.
This is just a renewal type thing, isn't it? Is
We
it-
did not have one before, so it is new to us.
But it's just anti-discrimination type stuff.
It is,
Follow
but
the
there's
rules.
requirements on, I believe, bids and requirements to be posted on the website. There's requirements to renew the plan every 3 years. Procedures that we have to follow in the back if there's complaints of any type.
I guess I'm curious why HR is bringing it.
Well, it was sent to me originally by TxDOT, and
Okay.
so I did put it together.
Okay, well, thank you. I just was, it's just random.
So,
I'm sure it's because it's
There'll be
anti-discrimination.
another one coming.
Some-
ADA.
Okay, something similar.
And it's wonder, it'd be just like a contract and
It's if
for the
you're going to
judge.
receive federal or state road money.
Right, but if the judge signs it, we should be good.
Right, but you have to name a contract.
Name the judge, if he delegates, I mean,
Is that a motion?
who else do we have that's overseer of all?
Well, why don't we just go ahead and name somebody instead of me and then delegate it?
Well, I guess what Gary's saying, just the judge's position in general for, all of the future.
I know, but it's a text, it's really concerning text document.
Well, no, it's really more ensuring that we follow anti-discrimination guidelines.
And it does
basically.
list the judge as the overall responsible
Hiring
party.
practices, judge.
Okay,
List the who?
gotcha.
It lists the judge as the overall responsible party, but then it wants a Title VII, Title VI coordinator.
Yeah.
So does it need to be somebody separate than the judge?
Well, the judge is
That's up to
designated,
you.
I mean, but it doesn't sound like it's gonna be labor intensive.
So what if I got designated and then I named you as the, kind of roundabout way of doing that, isn't it?
It's roundabout.
Yeah, kind of. But you would probably recommend perhaps one of the commissioners to be if I were the point of contact, if we delegated as the commissioner.
Well, I think it would be an administrative person, but that's up to y'all if you delegate.
I think it should be the judge's position.
What all entails in that? I mean, you talked about grants and everything else. Are you
Right, there's certain postings that go on the website, and then the plan has to be renewed every 3 years, and there's some specifications that we have to include with bids, and trying to think what else is in here.
Shelley, is this something your office would need to take care of?
I would think your admin, the admin for the commissioner would do it. Because they have to keep track of the complaints and if they were, how they were, rectified.
That's kind of the way I was going with that. If I was the point of contact, but yet, how often does this have to be done, did you say?
Every 3 years, it has to be
Every 3
renewed.
years, okay.
But there are things that will have to be put into place once the court approves this.
So if the judge were designated, then every 3 years, he could pick a delegate. I think probably what Shelley had to say is appropriate. That's why I initially said perhaps one of the commissioners, because it deals with commissioner admin types of things, I would think, more than it does mine.
That's why I wouldn't send it to me originally,
Yeah,
because it's not financial in nature, it's.
exactly. It's, well, it's
compliance-
HR,
Compliance, yeah.
it's kind of HR.
Yeah, but if there's a complaint, you can't take care of the road complaint.
I know.
If there's something on the road that's not in compliance with the policy, then that goes
Yeah.
back to.
It's really not HR. I mean, it doesn't deal with employees, it deals with the public.
The way I say it, really, it should be designated county judge with, as Commissioner Hollowell first mentioned, that then the judge delegate every 3 years to which one of the commissioners probably should take care of it. And it would be perhaps their admin, since it has to do with road complaints, it has to do with that sort of thing.
Does it also cover the buildings?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So with that, I would make the motion that the county judge be the designee with the authority to delegate whenever it needs to be renewed amongst the commissioners.
Personally, I don't know that, do you plan to designate a commissioner?
Say again?
Do you plan to designate a specific commissioner?
I think whoever is the judge probably could delegate a specific commissioner. That commissioner, I would envision, would work with the other commissioners to perhaps get the information necessary.
How would you, what criteria would you use to select that commissioner?
We were just talking about that. Well, maybe you could do it on a rotational basis. It doesn't make no difference.
You might look on page 5 and read where it's highlighted.
Slide
and
3.
How it's worded on there.
What does it say?
At the very bottom of page 5 of 14,
Oh.
it says Cook County has assigned, whoever you want to put there, to perform the duties of the Title VI coordinator and ensure implementation of the agency's Title VI program. So it really wants an assigned person, not someone who will delegate.
Well, I think the ultimate authority the ultimate
And above that,
responsibility would be the judge.
it does
Okay.
say above that, Cook County judge is ultimately responsible for assuring full compliance with the provisions of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and related statutes, and has directed that non-discrimination is required of all agency employees, contractors, and agents pursuant to.
Well, like I say, I could envision it. Yeah, I think the county judge probably ought to be responsible ultimately for the report itself or whatever, but we're dealing with things that the county judge or assistant do not normally deal with. We're dealing with things that would be more appropriate amongst the commissioners when you're talking about complaints and that sort of thing.
Isn't that what you do, Chelsea? You take the,
I mean, yeah, but
take all
not,
the complaints and
not
send
for
them?
road and bridge.
Not for road and bridge.
I mean, I do take the call.
But it's not gonna be road and bridge complaints,
And then
it's
I
just
forward it
maintaining
on.
compliance with our hiring and standards so that we can get grants.
It's an admin duty.
It's an
not
admin
a-
duty.
How do you, it's not, you're not gonna spec out a road.
I say it should just be the county judge's office, and then you
Yeah.
go from there. If you ever have to, the county judge needs to delegate from there to round up information or take care of something, then it happens at that point. That's the way I see it, but
Well,
I mean, it's not a bad thing.
I think I just got through saying the county judge should be ultimately responsible, but I do believe that the commissioners all have a part in the report as well. I don't, because it deals, I don't know,
But
I don't keep track of your complaints, let's put it that way.
it's not gonna be complaints about potholes, it's hiring
Doesn't
and
make
firing.
any difference. I don't keep track of your hiring and firing complaints either.
But if something did come up, you're not gonna go directly to the commissioner at fault, you're gonna be an investigation at that point.
So what do you say?
I mean, your motion's fine, other than that you're gonna immediately turn around and designate a commissioner.
I,
And then if you know, I personally, my apple cart's loaded. I don't need to take on an admin function. That's me personally. And I would want you to turn around and say, okay, Gary, I now delegate you. I don't think the judge can delegate a court member. I think it takes a vote of 3 to make that happen. But that's just.
I think I initially said that it would be, I could designate that the commissioners give me the information I want. I don't think you would have to specify one, and this really isn't that hard to do, guys.
I agree with that.
This is really pretty easy to do.
It
And I'll
said
make
you're
the
supposed
motion
to have
that,
some training too, or something here.
say again,
Saying you're supposed to have some training.
yeah?
What page did it say that on?
Oh, page 14.
The very last page?
Do we have a compliance person? And this under compliance? Some kind of
Yeah, I
compliance?
can't hear you.
Do we have somebody that takes care of our compliance stuff?
I
And is it
can't answer that
compliance?
question as far as compliance with this type of thing.
How soon we gotta have this done?
September.
September
Which first?
1st. September,
I'd say we need to do it right now. Motion stands.
September the 16th.
Says the staff will receive significant or sufficient training. Is that the,
I can't hear you.
just reading on there, I guess that'd be your person we designate, just saying the staff will make sure the staff receives sufficient training. So, anyway, I don't know where I was going.
Well, if it requires training, you're gonna have to have somebody designated to send them. I think that's where Adam's headed earlier.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if we could delegate our admin. How much time y'all's admin person have?
Me or Amber, just pick one and go on.
You wanna do it?
I will, if y'all say that, but also,
Also what?
I mean, I don't care. I'm not gonna say, hey, let me do it. I'm not
Well,
gonna
She
do
was
it.
volunteering.
I'm not gonna do that.
I seen her.
If y'all want me to, that's
my
fine.
point. That's my point. I don't believe it's your responsibility to go and collect their data, okay, is what my point is. I believe that amongst the commissioners, surely you can get together and provide this data to the county judge, who then in turn makes the report. I mean, it can't be this difficult.
Okay, well, then that's why your motion didn't get seconded, because that's not what your motion said.
I believe it is.
Okay.
I believe it's exactly what I said.
I make a motion that we designate the county judge's office to be the designee, or whatever it says. That titles, that highlighted part, where's that at?
By that, you're saying the judge's office, and he can delegate his
Yes.
assistant, and then
My
that person
motion-
can be trained.
My motion will say that, I say that the county judge's office will perform the duties of the Title VI coordinator, ensure implementation of the agency's Title VI program.
Second.
It's not exactly what I said.
Well, that's my motion.
So the judge's motion died for lack of second, correct?
Yes. So who are these other agencies that are going to be responsible then for getting the information together? That's what I said, the commissioners, amongst the commissioners, surely you can.
If there's
Get
anything
together and
specific,
decide.
Judge, to the commissioners, I think Chelsea or whomever the
No,
admin.
we're not going to put this on the judge's admin,
Well, I guess it won't get done. I don't know.
okay? Then
I mean,
make the motion that Commissioner Hollowell says it won't get done.
no, there's a motion and a second on the floor.
I don't believe there's a second.
I seconded it.
Gary seconded
You have to understand, Judge, this is not putting it on you. This is the judge's office, and this can be for the next 20 years. There'll be other judges, and I don't think there's going to need to be anything done other than just
No.
make sure we're not in.
I think what you're actually doing is you're putting the responsibility on the judge's assistant, which whoever they may be, which I don't believe is the proper thing to do.
Okay, well, do we need to get a whole new department and open that up to handle this and pay that department? Because we take care of road and bridge, we take care of subdivisions, we take care of multiple other things, like we're full.
Yeah, I mean, it's facilities, and ultimately, everybody in facilities reports to the judge's office, so.
I'm not,
Statute says
I'm not throwing it on your shoulders, and I don't think there's gonna need to be anything done, it's just the judge's
Well, it
office will be
says
the one to oversee
ultimately the
this.
judge is responsible for
And I said that.
right.
But you're mad at us, and you're not wanting to call for a vote, so.
Well, I made the initial motion that the county judge would be responsible, did I not? And then I said that the county judge could then delegate the gathering of the information
Pam, will you read the
to
motion
the
back?
commissioners.
He said
Please.
the county judge would designate with the authority to delegate a commissioner.
There you go.
Okay?
So my motion says what you were thinking, but you didn't say what you were thinking.
All right, so what is the motion right now, Pam? This is
Now the
ridiculous.
motion is, I agree, Mom, right? To designate the county judge's office to perform the duties of this Title VI program. Basically, I'll have to listen to it.
Okay, what about the delegation part?
Don't look at me.
They'll go, if the judge's office is in charge of that, they can delegate or ask for information as needed.
In that scenario, he's not delegating anybody unless it be a subordinate, and then they can ask for any of the information that's needed to fill in the form.
Read the motion.
It's there, we got a motion and a second, gonna call vote?
What is the I said read the motion. And the second, read the motion as it stands.
It's a motion to designate the county judge's office to perform the duties of the Title VI program. I mean, he listed the program a little bigger, but I didn't write that word for word.
I read the line that we're supposed to designate. I will read it. I designate the county judge's office to perform the duties of the Title VI coordinator, ensure the implementation of the agency's Title VI program. This position of title is located within this department. And Gary seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nay. Motion passes 4 to 1, I'm sorry. Item number 17, or 18. Deliberate and consider possible action regarding the draft of the Cooke County AI policy. Darrell, please.
Good morning, gentlemen. I recently attended the Texas Association of Counties Technology Conference, and the way these conferences go, they have keynote speakers, breakout sessions, lots of informative things for us to absorb. Fully half of those sessions, the breakouts, were about AI and how counties can use AI to help do county business. TAC is recommending that every county adopt an AI policy. So I've looked at 2 sample policies that they provided and took what I believe are the best parts for us. And I have a draft policy in front of you for your review, your additions, subtractions, any changes that you might like to make to it. And I can summarize that for you if you like.
Can we back up to item number 17? I'd like to nominate the AI program to take care of the Title VI program. Is that better? I'm teasing. Go ahead, Daryl. We got to make light in here right now.
Not a problem.
If I had my clown mask, I'd tell you.
So the example policies that TAC provided us were from Kerr County and Harris County. The Harris County was many, many pages, and I thought more detailed than we really needed. The Kerr County policy was 1 page. So ours is somewhere in between. I tried to take the best parts of those to say, give us some guidelines for AI usage in county government, but it's not really a lot of you shall and you shall not. It's more, here are some of the things AI can do for the county and a few things that county employees should be aware of if they decide to delve into that. Main points are AI tools must not be used to make decisions that a human would normally make, such as hiring or firing. Employees cannot put private or confidential information into public AI like CGIS or HIPAA, things that are protected information. If an employee uses AI to create something that'll be distributed to the public, they note in that document that it was written in part using AI. And that if an employee is using an AI tool for county business, they should have a county account for that. Don't, open up your personal ChatGPT on your phone and use that. It needs to be separated because those things could be subject to open records request at some point in the future, and you don't want your personal questions about how many chickens are there in the world to be public information.
Not any financial impact to it, no additional staffing, anything of that nature.
No impact, and as far as I know, we don't have any plans to implement AI. One really good example was El Paso County that has really dived into it. They have kiosks around the city for question and answer type things for the public. You can literally walk up to the kiosk there, and they demonstrated it live, and say, how do I get a marriage license? And it'll speak back to you and say, here's the office you need, here's the phone number, do you want me to connect you with somebody on screen to talk? And they actually have an employee that's designated to be like a call center person. Oh, you need help with this? Sure, I'll help you. And so they really have gone all in. It's pretty amazing. But that also comes with the financial cost of developing that software, buying the kiosk, things like that. I don't think we're anywhere near that, but anyway, TAC recommended that we adopt a policy to start.
Last week, I was working with the City of Valley View on some road projects, and they use AI or GPT to write their Facebook and website updates, which I thought was pretty neat. Helps with the wording and the, making it sound more professional and all that. So
Right.
I never even thought about that. And, I'm sure everybody sees me get hung out to dry on Facebook sometimes. So
I think today the most useful thing is editing things that employees have written to make them clearer, to make them more helpful. So I think it's a great tool if it's used properly.
But your department heads, the elected officials, going to be your eyes and ears to be sure that it's implemented correctly.
Right. And certainly some employees are using this in their writing already. I don't have any names in front of me, but it's a good tool.
I mean, this doesn't prohibit it, it just you have rules to follow.
Right. It's just kind of guidelines, and I would love some input if you have things that you want added. There's no rush to approve it or anything today. It's just, here's the first draft, and yeah.
You guys had a chance to look at it, you want to review it?
I didn't read it.
I've read it, I didn't see anything show-stopping.
Yeah, I didn't. I just scanned it. I didn't read it real good.
I'd be happy to bring this back in a future court if you want. This is just.
Yeah, let's do that. Would you be able to send me like Kerr and Harris? I guess I can get it on their website.
Kerr County and Harris County.
I'm sure Kerr didn't write theirs anytime recently because they're in a bind down there.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So sure, happy to provide those to you, and a lot of counties have them publicly on their websites too. So.
Yeah, I might go look for them too.
Sure. I'll
Be
do that.
interesting to see how there's changes.
Sure. Should I send those samples to everyone on the court?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Happy to do that.
Thank you, Darryl.
Thank you, Darryl. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Item number 18 is no action. Item number 19, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the participation form for Purdue and Sackler opioid settlement.
I'm Ed Zielinski, I'm your county attorney, and I provided you with emails on August the 20th and August the 22nd. August the 20th was the initial settlement documents, and this is related to the opioid litigation that's going on across the country right now. We participate in that with a law firm that is doing our portion and several other counties' portion. We've addressed that before, and they've come to you before. What happens is these are proposed settlements. These may not actually go into effect because in both instances, everybody has to sign on. And if someone doesn't, that may make a difference, and it does have to be approved. So what this is our telling our council that we agree to the settlement, and we're asking them to show that agreement. Once that agreement is presented, then they make their decision amongst all those parties whether they agree to that, and then we get our portion of that. There was a PowerPoint that was attached to that, and I'm hoping you all had a chance to read that. But basically, it gives the dollars and cents of how this is being done. The first group is the Purdue Pharma Group plus some other manufacturers, but the second group was just added on the 22nd. And what happens in these types of litigation is as parties start to settle, it narrows the scope of who will be litigated against. Generally, it's a good idea to try to settle them beforehand. That avoids the problem of you being the last one holding the ball. So I think we're going to see more and more of these come down. As council recommended, I recommend that you sign the agreement. They want it to be done by electronic signing, and the legal assistant and the litigation coordinator said they will help us get that done. So if you all agree to sign those agreements, and it'll be the judge's signature, then I'll have that presented to you for signature. Any questions?
You reviewed it, you're good.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with it. We just need to
Authorize the judge's
Yeah, I was gonna say
signature.
authorize the judge's signature to move forward with this.
On both. On both.
On
Two-
both.
two documents.
Okay, I make a motion to authorize the judge to sign both documents in the opioid settlement.
We have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs, second Commissioner Hollowell, to move forward with the opioid program. What would you call that?
Settlement agreement.
Settlement
Yes, sir.
agreement, okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, I'm going to present that to you when I find out about that electronic signature, or if they need it to be done physically. So I'll get that to your office.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the 2026 Cooke County Appraisal District budget, item number 20.
Motion to approve? Do we need to, is that what we need?
Uh,
Or if we
all
don't?
All we need is, if you have any discussion, we can, but I think all we ever do is just approve or not approve that.
Yeah, if we saw anything blatant, we could send it back, but
That's
I
right.
make a motion that we approve.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs, I'll second that. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. The Cook County Appraisal District budget passes 5-0. Item number 21, deliberate and consider possible action regarding a burn ban. Keith, your chance in the
Hey, good morning.
limelight. Go for it.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners Court, Keith King, Fire Marshal for Cook County and Emergency Management Coordinator. You got the piece of paper in front of you. Current average KBDI drought index is 609. We're going up 0.9 every day for about a week on average. So as you can see by the map, we're starting to turn almost a solid orange in the 600 to 700 range. So my recommendation to the court is that we consider instituting a burn ban. There is rain on the way. I just don't know. Even the rain we got last week did not slow the average down. There's a lot of fuel out there. We've responded to 31 fires since the 10th of August. None of them caused by burning. However, the fuel is there, and those embers are catching things on fire pretty quickly. We've responded to 14 fires in the last 7 days. So my recommendation to the court is to consider a burn ban for Cook County. Stand by for questions.
They got rain in the forecast for the next 5 days, right, Keith?
Yes, sir. It was heavier last week. It's dissipating as we get into the week. We may get a half inch, maybe an inch, and that's still kind of working its way out as it comes down from New Mexico and Oklahoma. So not sure on that. What I see for the heavier amounts is going to be in northern Oklahoma. Don't know that we'll get the heavier amounts. But even the little bit of rain we got last week didn't slow it down. We're in a drought. And you can just-
How many fires did we have last week?
14 in the last week. One of those was almost 2-acre burn out near Munster yesterday.
If I heard you correctly, though, they wouldn't have been, any of those prevented with a burn ban in effect.
No, sir. None of those were from a burn ban, would have been affected by a burn ban. It was a tire that blew off a truck, caught the grass on fire.
I was flying yesterday, commenting to my friend with me how green it still is.
Well, if we could get some rain, and the temperature's supposed to get cooler, so it should evaporate and stuff. Shouldn't evaporate as quickly. And you may or may not be familiar with this, but when we put burn bans on, trash and stuff begins to collect on the roads, and you end up with road and some issues like that.
Yeah, this is my first one, so what I got from the training I got from Ray was anything over 600, bring it to the court. So that's why we're here. I do expect it to go, if we don't get significant rain, I think it's going to continue to go up. It may slow to 2 points every day, but it's 9 points every day, but it's dry out there, and we have a lot of fuel. We had a small fire in Dove Landing that was just small, isolated. 3 minutes later, it covered 2 backyards. There's a lot of burn material out there, so just wanted to bring it to your attention for consideration.
Have you checked with any of the fire departments about their wishes one way or another?
No, sir. I did not. I didn't ask them what their thoughts or considerations were. Probably a lesson learned for me, but I just based it simply on our drought index and how we are rising almost 10 points.
I'm asking mine right now. One said they're fine without it. I'm waiting on the other 2.
I mean, we are just barely
What'd you
over the
say?
609.
Valley View said they're good, but that's the only one I've heard from.
They're good without it?
Yep.
Okay.
And then it said, rain in the forecast too. So. Indian Creek and North Shore will chime in a second. What do you think, Adam?
We haven't run that much, so I don't, Lindsay, compared to what we had before we put one in.
Normally this time of year we've already been in the band for a while.
Been in or maybe been out. Of course, we went a year without one.
Indian Creek said they're good without it.
you know, last year it was late September, early October before we did this. We've just been a little normal than usual. But we are going to be cooler temperatures. I think the high this week shouldn't be over 89 at any point this week. So the cooler temperatures and the projected rain may help bring it down.
Guys, you comfortable with maybe putting it off 2 weeks to the next court?
Yeah,
What
we'll
we'll do.
see what this week does.
And Keith, it's your first time I get it. It is over 609, literally.
I didn't want to give my personal opinion, but my personal opinion is we can probably hold off for 2 weeks. It's on the court for 2 weeks
Okay.
No,
continuously now. Every 2 weeks I'm going to brief you on the KBDI until it gets below 600.
And we're always, we want to hear your opinion. I
Yeah.
mean, at the same time, we say, hey, do you realize? I mean, no,
I-
we count on that opinion, that input.
I think we're okay right now. If we don't get the rain and we go from +10 to +20 a day, I may request the judge put it on if we get any hotter than it is. Or if we have instances where the burns that we're doing, the control burns that we're doing are out of control sooner, and we start to respond to a lot of burn issues, then I'll come to the court for an emergency.
What I'd like to see, Keith, whenever we have a burn ban type of situation, we gotta make a decision on it. If you check with the fire departments, or at least a majority of them, because it never made a whole lot of sense to me for us to sit here and decide on a burn ban when the fire departments are right out there, the ones that actually are the experts and know whether we should or not, without an input from them. Let's
Yes,
put
sir.
it that way. So,
You
But,
just
you're-
surveyed 3 of them, didn't you?
All three of mine said no.
you're no action?
Yeah.
I am.
I think it's no action.
Thank you for your time.
But you didn't do the wrong thing.
No, you did the
fine.
right thing.
You did exactly what you.
Every day's a new day and it's a lesson learned.
That's
And
right.
it will be, you'll learn something every
That's
day.
Thank you.
We all
Thanks,
do.
Keith. Okay, item number 21 is no action. Bring it back in 2 weeks.
See you, Richard.
Item number 22, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the FY '26 proposed budget. Anybody have anything?
Hi, Dean.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-oh, let me take notes.
I forgot to add in, $1,116 to HR's contract services. Her testing software went up for this next year. That makes it 11,000. EMS, I failed to add in the 20,000 for the assistant medical director. That was proposed, correct?
I think we agreed to do that, did we not?
We raised, Dr. Lewis 9% and then added 20 in for the associate, so I forgot to do that. There's been some line swapping that doesn't change the money. I think that's all I have on that.
Hang on, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
HR is wanting to weigh in there.
I don't know, it was on my email this morning about IT.
Does, the amount you gave me, is that with the 3%, Daryl didn't have the 3%, or
I think it's just typed in wrong. I think there's a typo on this budget.
on what I put in?
Yeah, because it has a 4 instead of a 7 in one spot.
I bet you meant on the paper.
Can you make that face again?
So, what she's saying is I
Is that for,
His
so that's for
part-
IT,
his part conversion,
and you're gonna increase, was that about $3,000?
even, since the, I typed in 24,249, she says 27,249, so. And then I sent y'all the budgets for SB 22.
You say they've all gone
Every single one of them are over.
over? Okay.
And
I guess, so now what?
I'm sorry?
I said, so now what? Send them home?
Well, either that or, I mean, it's in the attorney's offices, there's not gonna be anybody, well, I guess the DA has a vacancy. But the county attorney was over $4,000.
How are we going over with the,
Because they have an employee, and so the insurance went up and the 3% raise. They have a new employee.
that was only strictly SB money?
Right. They
When the
can hire-
SB money went away, that position went away.
But SB didn't go away.
I know.
But I mean, so they have a new employee they hired with that money, and that employee got insurance increase, and they got a 3% raise. So everybody that still had the increase that they were given for 25 is still there. But the new employee, the insurance and the raise went into it, went on that money.
But I don't.
would we get an increase next
I
week?
thought that the agreement was that employee be paid strictly by SB money.
And it is, but they're
Well,
over,
not if we're
but
giving it a
they're over
raise.
budget.
Not if we're giving them a raise.
The only way you can do
County's
that
paying
is
for
cut
it.
them the amount of whatever the bennies went up.
Do I?
Right.
Yeah. And you'd have to cut the salary by the amount that the benefits went up. In other words, it went up, what'd you say, $4,000 on the county attorneys, for instance? SB, is there gonna be an increase in SB money this year, do we know?
No.
So,
Same.
it's gonna be the same, okay. Started to say we could deal with it that way. I don't,
Okay.
hello,
Can we put this, can we slow that down? So they have the
The
money.
county attorney got 175, the DA got 175, and the sheriff got 350.
Okay,
The county attorney's budget is 179,457 out of 175. There's not gonna be enough interest earned to cover $4,000 over.
I wonder if the county attorney, district attorney would make that difference up in supplement. That's a
what?
question for them. They could make that up with their supplement, could they not?
The
Legally?
county has to match the benefits with their supplement.
So, okay, but, all right, here's 2 or 3 options.
Well,
One, you lay somebody off because we're $4,000 short of paying their total salary.
well,
Okay, or you
Mark
ask them
that
to
one
take a cut in pay to, in other words, they lose $4,000 in pay. Or you're saying if the attorneys agree to pay it out of their supplement, we would still have to pay bennies on that. But they're paying, that's the whole deal. They're paying the bennies is all they're paying out of their supplement. It's going toward an employee salary. They would supplement the employee's salary to offset the benefits. And that sounds, I mean, I know in the past, these guys have been good to supplement more than that.
but if you're paying the salary out of the supplement, the county has to match the benefits, the FICA and the retirement. The county pays that.
Okay, so you're saying that we can't take the SB 22 money and I mean, because we're getting the money, we're getting it from the attorneys if they chose, they might not even choose. But, I mean, that reimburses the county. Can they not donate that money to the county? Instead of, can they donate part of their supplement to the county to cover?
No, because it already comes to the county.
Okay, but
You're
the
talking
county
about
put
separate fund.
Did they use the full amount they got for salary?
I'm sorry, what?
Did they use the full amount they received for salary?
For SB 22?
Yes.
Yes.
Shouldn't
The-
the salaries be based on what money they have though?
well,
Like especially like the new hires, shouldn't the new hire salary be based on there being enough money to pay it?
hindsight should have been 20. In hindsight, they shouldn't have spent the whole thing. They should have anticipated raises because this same thing
Hindsight,
was
we
going to happen year after year.
told everybody, if you hire with SB money, that's it. When the money's gone,
Gone.
it's gone.
But one thing the attorneys can do, but I don't know when, the DA will hire a replacement, is change the,
Yeah, the salary on that, reduce that salary by enough to cover the bennies.
well, they can change the, percentage of which office is paying for what for the new employee that's mostly paid out of the county attorney's office.
But each of them gets 175, right?
Yes,
So you saying they can,
well,
see,
but because the DA has that position open now. They'll,
yeah, but so that would cover his employees' raises. You could back that off enough to cover, in other words, the new employee would come in at less money. You subtract it by, and really, if I'm them, I would anticipate raises over the next 2 or 3 years. And back it off enough to accommodate
well,
future
the SB
increases.
is not getting the raise, it's a standard amount, just the new employees that they hired using SB 22 got the raise.
Okay, so that one person then has to take a pay cut.
Or,
Why does that one person get the raise?
Because he's the only one that they've used to, when they hired that one person, then, and I just say that, I'm not saying that's something in stone, I'm just thinking out loud. The only reason that one person is having to do it is they're the only one affected by it, because they didn't have enough money budgeted for that one person. They didn't anticipate getting a raise. They budgeted at 100%. Or what's the alternative, guys?
is there another place somewhere in the budget that can take that overage? No place. We
Not,
can't
I
make,
mean, unless you want the county to pick it up.
well, that's what I'm saying. If we cut the county attorney's budget by $4,000 somewhere else,
In SB 22.
it has to be SB 22.
If you want the county to pick up the difference,
No.
then no, there's nothing.
Okay.
SB 22 is it.
Okay, let's back up a minute.
Okay.
Well, you said they each got 175, is that right? And they hired an investigator between the two of them, so he's getting, how much?
I mean, what really happens is that employee doesn't get the raise. And that makes it even, doesn't it, Shelley? I mean, that's not good news for that employee, but I mean, it's,
That won't make it even now, because he didn't get a $4,000 raise.
Well, if it was split between the two, can they divide?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, the DA has an open position, so that money's not being spent. They
Yeah.
can change the
Yeah.
percentage that each are paying for that new employee. But if that position does get filled,
you'll have time for less
Well-
money. We need to learn from this and anticipate raises next year on $140,000, and he needs to back off below that,
So
right?
where's the, I mean, I'm still not following, I don't know. They're getting 350,000 between the two of them, right?
Correct.
Are they paying that employee that much?
No, they all got supplements.
So did they spend all the rest of the SB money on something?
No, every eligible employee, they have a supplement for. That did not increase, just the money for the new employees that they hired using that money.
I see where you're headed with it. The salary should be based on the money that's available.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
I
divide
mean, that's what we said up front, before any of them was
Right.
hired. But that was, if you're gonna do that, if that money disappears and that position disappears.
And in this case, they don't have to do away with the whole position, they would just have to do away with,
They'd have to lower the supplements
To
for one or all.
$4,000.
yeah.
Or can they split it?
The three employees
Can they,
could
like,
take off
2,000 and
$1,200.
2,000 or whatever it happens to be.
That will be enough to cover the county attorney's portion. The DA is over $714.
How mu-
$714,
And
which is his percentage of the new employee.
So what did they spend the rest of the money on?
Supplements, that's it.
everybody got a raise.
Everybody
They
got a
absorbed
raise.
the whole $350,000 in raises.
Looks like the raises need to go down.
And so,
And
well,
that's
somebody got to take a
even
pay
with
cut.
retirement
That's
coming
what I'm
down.
saying.
Yeah.
It would be worse if the retirement had gone up.
And because they have an open position, we can make decisions on how SB 22 split, the court can. You know,
It's not a matter of
we
us
made
trying to
this-
micromanage this. There's this much money and you can only give it to these employees and you have to stay within that
Well, it was
budget.
stated very clearly, I think I said at least 4 times myself, that when the money goes away,
And we
It's gone.
won't supplement SB 22, hires, yeah. So I think at this point, what it would do is drive the,
The only thing
So-
we do is change the percentage that each is paying for the new employee.
That's what I'm saying. If you share the wealth a little bit between the two offices,
But if the
But not
open
make it up
position
out.
got filled today,
yeah,
then they're still,
it just can't get filled today.
well,
I mean,
it,
that would have, if it got filled, how much would they be over?
what they are over now.
Yeah.
well, it could be filled, but it could be filled at a lesser salary. And we can make that decision.
Well, if it
Well,
got
they got a
filled, it's
choice.
just gonna exacerbate the problem that we have right now. Isn't that correct? Just make it worse than it is now.
If they utilize 100% of the monies available and fill that position, you're absolutely right. So, the courts could make the decision to say, I don't know what it's posted at, but, we could say, hey,
Do we need to get them on here?
I mean, I suspect they would be cooperative to.
that's why you don't use grant money and all that kind of nonsense for raises.
What?
So that's why you don't use that kind of money for raises. Sooner or
Well,
later, somebody's gotta pick it up
But
or
we,
somebody's
but we
out.
can't use grant money we can't use, budget money to supplement SB 22, right?
Right.
So therefore, if we're already over SB 22, there's nothing can be done other than just not pay what that overage is,
And to not adversely affect the existing employees,
right?
they take it away from the one that's subject to be hired,
The one that just got hired.
or not hired yet.
Or not
And that's-
hired
Is
yet.
that job still open?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. And it's posted at, off the top of your head,
I'm sorry.
what's the salary posted at?
I don't know.
I bet they're watching, they
Yeah,
can,
well, I figure somebody.
They're watching. It's pretty simple. If we can't supplement it, and it's over.
well, it can be their decision there.
To either what?
I mean, they can make adjustments or,
Either make adjustments or not hire the, but still it's over. Even if they don't hire,
well, no, SB 22 is not over. You can't, you're not gonna eliminate SB 22. It would be positions or pay
did you
cuts.
say they were over $4,000, Shelley?
Oh, I thought you meant over, I mean,
No,
I
no,
think that's
no, no, no.
eliminated.
I'm talking about they have a $4,000 overage is what it amounts to. So something's gotta happen in addition to not hiring the new.
No, you can hire this person, they just need to hire them somewhere around 120. And that gives them about $20,000 to play with for next year and this year. It's posted at a minimum of 140.
140 to 160.
John's coming down. I'm sure Ed messaged me back in a second. There we go. There's one.
No pressure, we need a little help.
So, what's the question?
Can we is John coming?
Yeah, John's coming.
Give us just, John's down here and we'll talk about them both at the same time, if
Okay.
that's okay.
That's fine, I get it.
Yeah.
You still wanna say something, Sheriff?
Oh, y'all. I would say, Matt, the attorneys, they're more restricted on SB 22. So they can either hire somebody or increase current salaries. SB 22 for the sheriff was, number one, we had to give salaries, raise them to a minimum level. We exceeded those already, so they said, hey, you can give the sheriff, your commissioned law enforcement, and your jailers a raise. You can hire additional people, which we did an evidence check, or you can buy equipment. So we're not as restricted as they are. What I wanted to talk to you about is there seemed to be some confusion. Maybe it was me, maybe, I don't know. But when I presented the budget, and not only when we did with Commissioner Sicking and the auditor and the judge, I talked about it, but here when I presented the budget, I talked about if I had to cut an additional CID investigator or a vehicle, I'd cut the vehicle, because I think that affects the public the least. And so we cut the vehicle and we went on. But then when I was talking to the auditor, she said, well, I don't think that you got that position. And I said, well, I thought I did. I mean, it was in my budget. And the only thing I cut was vehicle. So for clarification for HR and for the auditor, we just need to decide whether that individual, that extra CID investigator is funded or not.
It was not put in the budget because it was a request. It was on a separate sheet, and it was on y'all's summary sheet. So HR didn't include it on the salary spreadsheet because it was a new position requested.
So it's on that request sheet.
And see, I think the last time we discussed it, when he made the statement, if he had to cut something, the court was under the assumption that the CID was in there. But, or I didn't.
So you thought it was the?
I thought it was in there.
Okay.
And after the request, he was appealing again for his position. And when he said he'd give up a car, I thought the car was in there to give up, but to cover it.
Here's something else that I think it's done, so when I submit my budget, you know, for the top 5, 6 lines, right? The salaries, the insurance, all those lines are blank. When I turn it in, and I guess this month, or the auditor plugs those numbers in those lines. So the rest of the lines have funds in them. If you see those, I plug those numbers in and look at them. So I guess to me, just number one, maybe we should plug those numbers in when they come to court for consideration. But because then it would be in the budget. Whereas this time, see, it's at the very back of the budget, which was the cost of the CID investigator and a slight pay raise for the evidence tech. But, point being, I was here because there was confusion whether that position is in there or not.
Well, and your SB 22 for next year is over budget by $6,133.
So,
I know you have vacancies, but
because the way I chose to do it was we divided the money out, hired one new position, we divided the money out. Everybody, which was Jay, was on first, myself, so now it's about a 5.725 something pay raise. But for us, ours on our paychecks, Commissioner Sickles is 100% right. He said, if Senate Bill 22 money goes away, that goes away. And so on our checks, it's a stipend. That 5.7, whatever it is, it shows up as a stipend paycheck.
Did it show up as stipend on the other, Shelley? Do you know?
it's in its own fund now, so I don't know if it shows up as a separate on the stub.
But everybody's been told if that goes away,
But yeah, if it went away, then we'd lose that 5.7%. Their checks would decrease by that amount.
So there's no, face value, there's no extra money to give the evidence, civilian evidence tech a bump other than even with 3% that we got.
Well,
On face value, I know you have vacancies.
but what I would say to you, if it's broken out 5.72 for employees on the law enforcement side, including that evidence tech, but we want to raise our, and I apologize, I don't have that
But
amount.
the evidence tech's a new employee, so that covers health insurance, which went up, and
Whatever I asked for in her increase, which would have been maybe $3,000, $3,500, whatever it is, then we subtract from all the people so that hers goes up that little bit. Everybody else may decrease $10. But because she totally falls in SB 22, that I want to adjust her what I asked. It may affect everybody else, so but she
needs to be, walking around, correct? List. When I say everybody else, I mean within.
Law enforcement, yeah. And then, probably gonna need to anticipate it next year. You know, if they got a raise next year, it's the same scenario, but.
Or, I see y'all are getting into numbers. But if you figure an employee a 3%, all employees a 3% pay raise, instead of giving that 3% based on their total salary with SB 22, maybe you're figuring 3% prior to.
Just in general fund,
Yeah.
just the base salary in general fund.
Yeah.
We got a couple other grants do the same way, sure, on that.
That SB 22 is on top of the,
That's separate from base salary.
Get it, but are you figuring a percentage?
No, SB 22 is the same as it was the first year, second year.
So you're figuring a dollar amount and not a percentage from SB 22?
No, you said if you 5,000, you've been 5,000 since 24, 25, 26. SB 22 is not changing except for the retirement amount, which has gone down, and your new employee.
But if you give an employee a 3% pay raise, their total salary went up. And then, if we say, oh, your Senate Bill 22 is 5.7% of that.
No, that stays,
That's what I'm saying. If it's a fixed dollar amount.
it's fixed.
We shouldn't be.
Well, it's fixed until you add bennies, but insurance and bennies, right? Then it's no longer, that portion's not fixed.
The new employee is what's throwing
The
them
problem,
off.
yeah.
Because the health insurance went up, getting a raise.
And that
Went
cost
down
wasn't
a
there
little
last
bit,
year.
but, I mean, everybody else stayed the same, they're constant. Constant.
I didn't come here to talk about Senate Bill 22.
Yeah. But specifically this evidence tech, you made a statement, do you really want to reduce across the board to bring her up?
To adjust her.
Because it's
salary.
SB 22 money.
Yes, because she's totally funded now. I will say to you, when I came before the court about that position, it was not my intent to totally fund it out of SB 22. I didn't want to do that, but that's why I came and was asking for that position. It ended up being funded totally out of SB 22. Okay, but certainly wasn't my intent, but since that salary is totally funded by SB 22, then her pay raise has got to come out of SB 22. And
In
since
this
we-
scenario,
Since we're not getting any more SB 22 money, then we're gonna have to adjust the money that we have. So,
You're-
yeah,
you okay with it?
It's not that much.
I thought we cut the truck or the vehicle and paid Holly, what I remember.
That's what I thought was said.
Remember she got an increase or wanted an increase, or we needed to increase her?
when I said, what do you want to give up to? What?
She must be at the stop.
You doing over
Oh.
there, Keith?
It wasn't the sheriff's phone? The Holly raise was just $4,000, right?
$1,500 a month, wasn't it?
It was
16,000.
16
Yeah.
total, yeah. Like 1,500 a month, something like that, yeah.
We didn't need, just need some guidance. And then if it was, I submitted it in the budget, you approved the budget, and the numbers weren't there, so.
Well, it's hard to put in salary when you don't know what a proposed raise is, everybody's longevity changes.
criticizing, I'm just
I
saying.
understand. But I mean, that's why the sheets were created, if anybody wanted something new on top of what they already was existing.
That's supposed to be to our benefit, and we don't all necessarily look at it like that. I mean, it's supposed to shine for us, it's above and beyond, but.
Yeah, I would have emphasized it more, much of the presentation, we did cover, and we did talk about it in one-on-ones or whatever, pre-budget workshop.
Well, I mean, the way I remember it, you come in and said, you're gonna cut the budget, you're willing to give up a car, possibly two if you need be. Then we went off on, I don't recall you saying anything about your CI, the new hire or whatever, on that part of it. I mean, we talked about it during the meeting, but anyway, so I might be totally way off key there, I don't know.
In that position, would primarily be targeted for crimes against children cases. Those are very, very time consuming, lots of resources. Oftentimes, there's thousands of photographs, hundreds of videos that we have to go through, that investigator has to go through. Just really bogs down, and those are serious, some of the worst crimes that we investigate. We find that oftentimes those child porn cases, they oftentimes are abusing as well. So it's not just internet crime, but they're serious cases. Demand that we investigate those and do a thorough job. So it's a priority for us. Now, if we continue, and that's why I said if I had a choice, I'd cut a vehicle, because I think that impacts the public the least. If we continue how we're going, it just bogs down one of those investigators, and then the other cases don't get quite as much priority. We have to move property crimes down the list, crimes against people up. So, you got X amount of pennies to work with. So we just need some clarification. Okay, let's do it.
This is not the wisest thought process, but what's the odds of you having patrol field in the next year?
Well, we do have some in the hiring process. We've got 4 vacancies. So I think we do have 3 in the hiring process. We'll see.
But you'll be full then, because what I'm wondering, if if you're always running one short, then you might, have salary money there. But if you're not one short, then all of a sudden you're short.
In the jail side, we've been as high as 11 vacancies. I think we have 3 vacancies today. We do have hiring, we do have folks in the hiring process on the jail side as well. The likelihood of us staying full, if we get there,
But you don't commingle money between the jail and the sheriff's office, right, on salaries?
we normally don't in general fund money, but on SB 22 is different. So we can commingle SB 22 money.
But here, we're not talking about SB 22 money, we're talking about general fund money, because we say we're gonna hire him out of SB 22, then everybody's gonna take another cut. Before you know it, it stings somebody. I was just thinking, if you're not full, using general fund money to pay, say, jailer salaries, if you commingle them, you can take a jailer salary, or a jailer and a half, so whatever it takes to pay an investigator. I don't know if we'll make that adjustment, I don't know, I'm just throwing stuff out there.
Can we,
It's kind of catch-22 on both sides, because when you do have vacancies, and on the jail side, we're really, really restricted, because the jail commission says you will have this amount of employees on duty, period. And so, when we have those vacancies, we end up calling folks in on days off to now they're on overtime. So we end up spending that money. You're either gonna spend it in overtime, or you're gonna spend it in salaries if you have those positions filled. Patrol is a little bit different in that we just run shorthand. I mean, we do have to have some overtime in there for vacations and people taking off, but we just run shorthand. We oftentimes have two on a shift, two deputies, sometimes three. If we were full on a perfect day, when we're full, when we don't have vacations, trainings, sick days, perfect day, we don't have those very often, by the way. A perfect day, we could have 4 deputies out covering 900 square miles. So it's a challenge, and certainly when you get down to 2, all they do is call. So, but anyway, we have been full a time or two, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, and then vacancies come. So
But inspection time, you still have to have X number allotted, and if you moved one to pay patrol, then you'd come up short on your count. Or not patrol, but investigate.
if you don't fund it, I'll come back here next year and be asking for it. I hope at that point we're not asking for investigator and patrol. As our call volumes increase, the population of the county grows, and especially down in the southern end. But growth there. When our call volumes increase, we'll have a need for more patrol. I say 20, but 2 of those are SROs. One's assigned to Hero, one California.
let's circle back to this since I called them out of their offices. We can do that.
Elizabeth, if
Get
you,
back to you.
just take a break, Sheriff.
Okay.
We'll get back
Please,
to you.
please. Y'all, you help them understand that.
You want me to stay or leave?
Stay here.
I got thinking they might not even know about it
I'm sure,
with the race and everything.
will you watch this on YouTube, you up to speed?
Yeah,
Up-
and Jason sent me a text.
Yeah. One of us can synopsize it, or Shelley can synopsize it, or summarize it, or the,
Well, I've got a hand, let me tell you what I understand. We've got an overage on our budget,
On SB 22?
SB 22.
Yes.
So how do we handle the interest that we earn on the SB 22 funds? How does that get enforced?
You have to report what you spent.
Right.
And then they ask, did you earn any interest money?
Right.
So, but, I mean,
So I'm looking at the budget information I took offline, and it says that for 26, it suggests that we anticipate 17,500 in interest. Is that right?
no.
What does that mean? It says
For
interest.
Fund 108, I put in 15,000.
Okay, but then it says 2025, 17,500. So is that what we earned during that fiscal year?
For the, in 25 for the budget?
Yeah, because now I'm taking this off the website. And so then approved for 26, it says 15,000, but it says for 25, it's 17,500.
That's what we've earned or what I budgeted.
Well, that, I'm looking at your figures, so I don't know. So actual today, so this is August, 12,121, but it says for 2025, it would be 17,500. And then approved for 26 is 15,000. So how do we apportion that?
Revenue's always estimated, we know that.
Well, we know that interest was generated because the SB 22 funds were not put in a separate account last year. Shelley had to back that out to figure out what was earned. I think that's where we got it.
I budgeted 17,500, we collected 12,121
Right.
as of 8/15.
Now, did they subtract that out of our gross, Shelley, the state?
They asked for how much each entity earned.
In interest. and-
Right, and so I will have to, give a percentage, because the attorneys have less money than the sheriff. I will have to go and, like I did on,
Right.
or the year before was, we had this much, but the sheriff has twice as much, and he, you know, I gotta,
But do they subtract that off our gross?
I don't know.
So my thought is this.
So I think what they do is they subtract it off what you owe back, if they
Right.
really do owe
But
back.
if that money has come into us, we apply that against this deficit amount. Because if it's
But I don't know
4,000.
how much this percentage belongs to your
Right, that's what I'm
office.
saying, is that the $4,000 figure.
That's for next year.
Right. But when we anticipate that we're going to be making interest, and the portion of it will be assigned to me, that will be less than $4,000. Right? Because there'll be income that will take care of it.
It's hard to say. I mean, if the Fed start dropping rates, or, I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is just projecting this, we know we're going to make something.
We're gonna make some,
Okay.
yes.
So that something is going to be divided between John's office, my office, and the sheriff.
Correct.
So that $4,000 figure is going to be different because interest will pick up some of that. Right?
I just, we just
I
don't
think
know.
that's a yes. Okay.
Yes, it is, yes, that is, but I just don't know how much.
Oh, well, exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go look at what we have between our investigators and what we can do as far as supplements that we receive. Because I have a supplement that I get because we're raised to give it to judges, so does John. We're going to figure that out. He is looking at adding that first assistant because there's spots open. So nothing can really be determined until that's been accomplished.
But we could we reduce the, in other words, there's a range, significant range in there, what, 120 to 160, John? Can we reduce that starting salary and save you guys some money there? Because we're gonna have the same problem next year, especially on the new investigator, and he's making that kind of money, then insurance and bennies is gonna go, at some point, this is gonna continue
Well, see,
cycling.
The problem we've got, I've got to find out from the comptroller's office, I'll contact them this afternoon. The last time we got the notice, and I said to Shelley about SB 22, they allowed us to do different things with those SB 22 funds that they didn't let us do at the first go-around. Remember, they said now you can apply. So we got to figure out if there's a way to move that money around, like give part of it back to the county to cover that deficit, or if I've got to do it some other way. Because we're very limited, it's very specific, so.
Yeah,
But-
I think it's playing the
Understand
numbers.
that your supplement, the county has to cover the
Yeah,
fringe benefit.
exactly, so we gotta do that calculation and know how much of that can be absorbed. And like I said, the wild card too is some interest will take some of that down.
Right.
But Gary's right, the issue becomes, what do we do, because we don't control whether you give a raise.
Absolutely.
So once that happens, if we've configured ourselves to addressing that without the raise, then we would have been okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that we've got 3% tossed in, this is
And
what bumps us
insurance
over.
went up.
And the big
Right.
picture is, we said we wouldn't supplement SB 22.
Right.
So, so we should anticipate it happening next year, and let's just kind of plan for that, is we hire new people, to hire them in a little less, to give yourself some wiggle room at 3 to 5% or something.
Well,
So I was, real quick, I was just gonna say, so the work, like you said, it got off just on the raises. On these employees, it seems like the raises can't be on the Senate Bill 22 money.
Right.
It's not.
So like some of your people are making an extra salary because of the Senate bill, they would get a raise on their county salary, but not the SB 22. And then if an employee is only SB 22, they would just understand that.
That's the
Which is
problem.
what we did with
Yeah.
this investigator.
Right, that they would understand, hey, you don't
And
get
that's
the.
what Matt was saying earlier, we understood that that salary went into play, if SB 22 went away, that salary was gone. But because of the raise now, it's over what our budget is.
Yeah.
So,
It exceeds your revenues.
Well, and
From
I
SB.
mean, and the benefits and everything for
Yeah.
the new employee, because the insurance went up and because of that.
but some of that, now we can do that with SB 22 money, we're allowed to do that. But nonetheless, once the raise went into play, that bumped this. So now we got to figure out how to back that out.
And not adversely affect the employee.
Right.
At least it's not a lot of money we're talking about, it's just a little bit of finagling to get.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is, projection. Okay, let's say hypothetically that every year we're gonna go 3 to 4% in raise. Well, we have to expect that when we start going to the budget meetings. So what we need to do is kind of take those salary amounts and reduce them by what we anticipate a raise to be, which is,
For maybe 2 years, I'll give you some wiggle room.
Yeah.
3%
That's
twice.
basically what
Yeah.
you've been saying, just
Yeah.
lower salary rate.
Well,
well, no, not that, Judge. I think what he's saying is that we need to anticipate that if that raise comes into play, what we can afford to pay in salaries, not lower a salary, but just not give an increase.
if you had a new
Right.
employee, you might make your entry
Right.
level, reduce your,
Well, that's
that's
what
what I
I'm
said
saying.
on your investigator, reduce
You
the
hire
entry
them
level
in
a
at
little bit.
lower
Right.
salary
but-
then.
But not cut the people that are present.
No,
What
no,
we
no,
need to do
I
is
didn't,
try
I
to
didn't
figure
say
out
that.
we
What
can
he was
afford.
saying was that when you hire somebody, they come in at a lower rate than.
but we also need to attract people who are good employees. And unfortunately, the first assistant's position, the pay is, I believe, 90,000, which is a business, very low for an attorney. I'm looking at hiring an attorney who's a 20-year attorney. And why would anybody come work here for $90,000 if you're a 20-year attorney?
Isn't it posted at
We all
120? I mean,
I'm
between
not
140
really,
and
I mean, I think
it's posted between 140 and 160.
I think it's 91, and so I have to bump up, I believe, I could be wrong, but I have to use close to $50,000 or $60,000 of that asset forfeiture money just to make this county competitive in paying attorneys.
See, what happens is we have to look at what they're paying in Denton and Grayson counties, and across the state, every prosecutor's office has got openings now.
I mean, y'all know, just like EMS and the sheriff's office and everybody else, I mean, yeah. It's a countywide problem at some point.
I mean, I think Denton County's first assistant probably makes well over $250,000.
Well, and at
And
some
I know
point,
we're not getting
at some
counted,
point in time,
But
you know.
at some point, we have to say, we're gonna start taking, public safety seriously. And
But John, that
if the
implies that
sheriff's-
we don't.
I know, but if the sheriff's office is going to get a new position to prosecute CSAN cases, child sexual abuse material cases, we're the ones that are gonna have to prosecute that. And so I can't afford to just hire a first-year prosecutor. I need somebody with experience. And the only way that we get people here with experience is by paying them what they're worth.
And we're not trying to limit you. I mean, that's your budget. But we asked HR before you walked in here, hey, what's that posted at right now? Minimum wage, minimum pay, and we apparently would be budgeted. Did we budget the whole thing, Shelley? If we,
Well, it's 140 to 160, that's the range. But I do have a potential hire, and he is a 20-year lawyer. And I told him the pay was 160.
yeah, well,
And
I don't, if we budgeted, see, though, you're not taking that 50,000 out of forfeiture monies.
County pays 130.
Okay, see, now then, those numbers match when you do that.
That's
Okay,
what I'm
that's
saying,
good.
is
So if you look at first year hires that all these departments are going, they're like $100,000 first year right out of school. And when we come in, and when I was hiring, fortunately, Audrey was in town and she was interested in the job for the pay that we were paying. But if I was going out in the market like John had to, that's not what those guys are asking for.
But there's $175,000 there, and some of that may need to go toward prioritizing a more experienced attorney, if you will.
But that's what we've
I mean,
done.
y'all split it among several attorneys, and so maybe some of those, you know, were they all 20 years? I don't know, guys. I'm just doing going through the
Three
script.
things we have to think about for future budgets is one, how many raises are going to be in play, how that's going to affect the benefits package that goes with that raise, and whether or not we can offer any other kind of incentive, employment incentive. So if we're put in a position where we can't compete for that salary, we're going to have holes open. That's just what it's.
But that 175,000 should go a long ways toward helping the situation.
Oh, it goes a long way.
And we're not trying to, but you can't raise everybody 100,000 at a time or 85,000 at a
And
time.
here's the other thing, SB 22 is a grant.
It could go. I was just about to say,
It go away.
pray that it don't go away.
So when we start looking at that, we've got, I told everybody, don't buy a boat.
Absolutely.
That's what I said.
And what we're gonna be looking at is, I don't believe that they're gonna be able to keep SB 22 grants in place for many years. I really don't think that's gonna be feasible.
They gotta run out of money at some point.
Well, and the way it was, I mean, the comptroller's office has been juggling, trying to figure out how to evaluate these, and they're pulling their hair out because now they've been given the responsibility out of the money that goes from schools. So those folks are saying, don't count on this being around forever.
And so you apply that across the board to you guys, the sheriff's office. I mean, do we think the
Yeah, I
county?
mean, if you cut the sheriff $300,000, that's a big hit.
And so he's got 3 or 350, y'all got 350, that's $700,000. You know, if that went away tomorrow, some services gonna go away.
Right,
Because with the 3.5% revenue cap, we couldn't fund it if we wanted to.
right.
And
So-
and I've told my employees, hey, if this goes away, this goes away.
Well,
And-
what do your employees do for those large salaries they get?
I beg your pardon?
What do your employees do? I'm not talking about yours, I'm talking about how many prosecutions or whatever do you do every year?
I'll give you those figures.
Okay,
I don't understand why it means anything, but what they do is they're practicing law, and you have to hire a lawyer to practice law. So what our employees do is, cases are presented to us, some of them are good, some of them are bad. The ones that are good, we go forward with. When they go forward, they go to court. When they go to court, they either plead or they try. So that should answer the question.
that's your answer, right?
It's my answer, yes, sir.
Okay.
We don't, this is not about the
I don't understand.
the numbers at this point in time.
You don't understand the question.
No, not really.
When's the last time you prosecuted a case?
I'd make a motion that we take a break.
Yeah, we can have a meeting about it if you'd like
Okay,
to.
I'd love to.
Okay,
All right, I'd love to do that.
all right.
Set it up.
What?
I think we're gonna meet Wednesday anyway, aren't we?
What?
Oh, you
too?
Yes, sir.
I think so.
I'll see you there.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Guys, I think we have an understanding that y'all will pick
Are we
that
good?
up out of
Are we
the.
good?
Yeah, thanks for coming down. We were sitting there talking about it, and I was thinking, y'all
We
want to be
needed
aware of
you
what's
to-
going
in
on.
this deal to say how we gonna fix it.
Yeah.
And so that's a,
Come back with
I'm gonna try to figure out, I'm gonna try to figure out, Elizabeth and I are gonna talk about hopefully
I'll see you Wednesday. I'll see you Wednesday.
because, well, John hires somebody now, and he's over $714. Okay, yes, interest will pay, I'm confident we earn $700. That would cover that, if y'all spread out the percentage of what you got paid for Mario, then it could look a little more.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah, a little more to him.
Yeah, we're kind of full on this right now, so we gotta figure out what those numbers are.
yeah, and I think we do also have to anticipate interest rates probably gonna fall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. So We just need to be proactive, do our math, and move on.
Thank y'all for
Thank you,
coming down.
appreciate you working
Thank
with us
y'all
on
for coming
that.
down.
Who wanted a break?
Well, we're,
Do what?
I think we've moved on past that part.
Have we?
So now we got the sheriff. I pushed him off the side to get that done.
Sheriff,
I apologize for that. So you're the priority right now again. I just didn't know what I pulled them out of, and so the main question that the sheriff has right now is for his CID, and you were under the impression that it was going to be in there, and then the vehicle was going to be removed to help offset the cost for this year. Right? That's what you said.
Whenever I was facilitating the meeting, I thought it was there, and I was saying, hey, do you guys agree with such and such, and we moved along.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's
think I
what,
was fine with it too. What are y'all's thoughts on that? I mean, just trying to get down to the meat and potatoes here. But what we're saying is, so the number that we worked with for the final budget,
Goes up 90,000.
it just goes up 90, so, because it wasn't in there.
How much is it gonna be? Was it wasn't in there, what's it gonna be if we do it?
We said 90-something thousand. I think.
with minis, right, Sheriff, so your numbers with minis, you have a number with minis?
So the additional CID spot with benefits, insurance, 9305
Okay, 93.
plus,
Plus the 3% raise,
which is,
it's gonna be 95,
Well,
Which is
let's consider it, because they're not here yet, let's consider it without the raise, without the 3% raise on it.
3% would be 2101.
Yeah, but on 93, you know.
have an on-call.
What?
And you're gonna have an on-call investigator that's paying less than everybody else forever.
Well, as we move along in the future, we need to anticipate and fix some of this as we go. Just, you know, when these guys hire off SB 22, now we know we gotta back it off a little, but, and, I don't know.
And he's requesting an additional 3550 in SB 22, so that makes him 12,000 over budget.
What?
What do you think?
For this employee. So
But-
he's 6,000 over budget now, plus, well, sorry, 9,000.
But he's not hiring this employee out at SB 22.
But he wants to give them
Wants to bump him.
SB 22 bump.
93 plus the bump.
So we might not be able to do the bump because there's no money for that.
I don't,
It's not 93 plus the bump, it's included.
Oh, that's included?
But it wouldn't affect his SB 22, because it's gonna add an additional employee to take that, whatever amount she had.
For general fund,
So for,
it's 89,500 for general fund.
okay, so it's less than the 93.
And then
for FY 26.
3551 for SB 22.
And I don't mean to sound flippant, but SB 22 doesn't concern me as much as general fund dollars, but,
I was gonna offer something that will offset the cost this year for FY 26. I cut $99,000.
Where?
It's like a little over 99,000. Don't have an exact in front of me.
Oh, you're saying that's what you did. You don't
no,
have
he
something
said
else?
he's
I can cut $99,000
more is what you're saying.
from the jail van.
from what?
By cutting a jail van. I had put a new van.
Vehicle, yeah.
In the budget.
So that's a two-vehicle cut.
We can cut it out. I don't want to send the thing on a long road trip, so we'll send a Tahoe with it, or
We need to find for something like that, need to find a small gas fuel efficient vehicle for your long transport trip.
Depending on whether he's hauling multiples.
Kia Rio, Hyundai Elantra.
Well,
If it will ease heartburn of adding that,
CID,
we'll cut, it was $99,000
so we're kind of back to the question I asked you the other day then. What are you willing to give up for that employee? And you just answered it there.
Well, last time he said he would give up one marked unit or one unmarked unit.
Right,
Now
right.
he's throwing in another one.
Right, exactly.
Uh,
That seems fair to me.
It was 85,000 something for the mark.
Why is a van 99,000? This world is just backwards.
You better tell us that.
I mean, I'm telling, it was a facetious question.
14 or 16 passengers.
14 or 15 for
It's a
Yeah.
small bus.
Well, but is that
Pickup
gonna
trucks.
severely hamper your ability to move prisoners? Don't most of your out of county, aren't they delivered and picked up, or do you have to go get them and bring them, all that kind of stuff?
I hate to see them.
We transport inmates, certainly all over the state of Texas, but even out of state.
Yeah.
We go as far as Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, you know that.
Yeah.
We've got, if we catch one in like Washington State, New York, we typically hire service for that. There's jigging out there, but it's expensive. It might cost $5,000–6,000 to move somebody from New York to.
I hate to, because your van, what's the mileage on your van?
It's not super high mileage, it's just old.
Okay, I just, my thought is
13, 14 years old.
yeah, my thoughts to,
We'll get by. We use it a lot, bringing inmates over for arraignments and such. We may bring a van load, but I just don't want to send it on a road trip with 3 or 4 inmates.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying, I hate to hamper your ability to move prisoners around too.
I'm not trying to be loose with the purse strings, but I mean, I'd hate
If
to
I didn't-
go ahead and get the van over with too, because they're just gonna be 20% higher next year too, so.
That's true.
Judge, if I didn't think that we could manage without it,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be willing to cut.
Okay.
I think we can get another.
But
Okay, what-
Jason makes a good point. Next year it's gonna be 120,000. You're gonna be right back up there.
Yeah, and worst comes to worst. You do lose that van. What are you gonna do?
We may have to make.
Do what?
I had to buy one.
Yeah, either buy another van
I
or,
say we do as CID and leave the van in.
I agree.
And the CID's at 89 in general fund.
Yes, yeah, and I appreciate the concession, being willing to cut, understand what we're trying to do here, so, but I think we can do both.
See what you get for being a good guy.
That's my opinion on that. If y'all wanna put
No,
that
I
on the
agree with
budget,
you.
we'll do
You guys
it.
have tough decisions to make.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to cut it here, just.
I know you're right.
But so I think what we probably need to do now is find some free time for both of y'all, and we need to sit down and figure out your SB money and see where it needs to be and what needs to be adjusted so that you're not over the line. I mean, are you willing to help do that?
I'm down with that.
Okay.
You're
I
down
mean,
with
to
it?
me, that would be the next step, but if y'all, what do y'all think? I felt like you're in on the van. What about you, Matt?
Say that again.
Van, I'm saying van and CID. I know it's a lot, but I think, whatever.
And the increase for the civilian tax.
But
Okay, so I got lost on that.
But now.
I was over here figuring CID, or
Tech is
figuring
SB 22 money,
22 money.
right?
Right.
Okay, and what he said on that is he's gonna reduce everybody else's SB 22 money to fund the civilian tax increase, right?
I didn't follow that, sir.
I said, I think what you said on the tech, on your, evidence tech, is that you would reduce everybody else's CID money across the board to increase her.
Not just CID, but.
I'm, no, not across, everybody's getting SB 22 money.
Including myself.
That's getting SB 22
It's
money.
SB 22. If it shut out, it was in the back of it.
It was it's on Elizabeth's spreadsheet, it's 24.
100?
Yeah.
2,400.
You're gonna divide that
I
by,
thought it was more than that.
20, well, with Bennings, it's 28, 58, 77.
how many people you got on SB 22?
Probably
60?
at least, not probably 75.
Or 75 counting.
So it's, what is that, $2 or $3 a piece, or
That's what I'm saying.
including his, yeah?
Yeah, you just had to sit down and look at your chart and see how you want to do your SB 22 money.
In reality, they're not, they're gonna lose a little bit in some 22 money.
They're gonna pick up 3%.
20 bucks a check, whatever. I doubt that much. But they're gonna benefit from 3%, for sure.
You gotta sell it. It's your morale out there, you gotta sell it.
Excuse me, I'll be right
Shelley, did you hear?
You have to buy the
consensus
next round.
on-
To get put in the CID, take out the van.
No, they left the van in.
Left the van in.
Just add
And
the-
then
just add
split
the
his-
CID and figure out his SB 22, so he's not over.
That's
budget.
probably gonna be HR too in that loop to figure out how to subtract it. Pretty simple. One other, I guess we need to talk about, I don't, need your help here, Shelley. You're good. I think we're done with
Yeah.
you.
Unless you have any other concerns. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sheriff.
Oh, hit him with her. And that's their bad shoulder, Sheriff. You ought to be ashamed. I need to be sure I understand this, but Wes has raised concern over, we agreed before to go with a new one and let the grant pay for it. Okay? And I still think that's good. He's saying delivery is gonna be 14 months out.
Okay.
And what I don't understand, if you order, and a remount is how far out?
Like only 4 months shorter.
So I still, he would like for us to go budget for the remount and because he might get it 4 months sooner. And he's very humble. He was just raising the question. He's not fussing. But he's got 2 or 3 backup ambulances. They've got a lot of miles on them. But I lean towards sticking with the decision to leave the new one budgeted and not throw another, what, $290 or something in for a remount. I mean, we may not spend it, but if we throw it in the budget, we got, I mean, it's that much of an increase on the budget above the 300 that we're setting in. I mean, the 300 will carry over, but.
He was gonna ask if we go ahead and order one now. And, 4 or 5 months from now, we can order on the grant. He's gonna ask if they would let him keep his spot in line, but change it to a new ambulance with the ambulance company.
Well, but again, you end up budgeting nearly 600,000.
Well, no. I think
I
he
don't know
was just gonna
how
go
you-
ahead and order
You
one.
could budget for the remount, which was less than the new one, and then he applied for the grant, and if he gets the grant, then I can budget the revenue and expense at the same time.
And
So that'd be a zero effect on the budget
If we do it that way.
if you get the grant.
Yeah, and but if we don't get the grant, he ends up with just a remount.
Correct.
That's what we kind of discussed.
So, so now where are you? My concern is gonna end up, if 3 or 4 months difference might not be, such a big deal, but, and if we don't get the grant, we got the money budgeted.
Definitely, as long as it takes to get ambulances down, I'd rather have multiple spares sitting around.
Oh, I don't, but
You know, I'm just thinking, you know,
well, no, those spares are not the greatest idea, because batteries and tires, I get a spare,
but
but
if
what
you
about
have one of
7 buses now?
If you have one of these diesel engines go down,
One of these
hardcore,
gas
you
engines,
know.
but
5 main and 2 reserves.
But he has to be able to issue a PO now to order it.
And I don't, if that's what we need to do, that's the reason I'm having this conversation. He walked up here earlier, and I don't want him to think we just ignored him, you know.
He did that, he was gonna go ask that question about the line, being in line.
But if we leave the 300 in, it's there regardless. And so we just don't spend that if it's a remount.
Right,
So we're good either way, right?
right.
So just leave the 300 in, and he orders the remount. Well, but if he orders the remount, we bought the remount.
Correct.
And so then we're not getting to take advantage of the grant.
Well, you can still apply and then get two.
Well, but again, we don't need to. Yeah, we don't need to fund 2 ambulances. That's where I'm headed with that
If you
conversation.
get free money, why wouldn't you?
Who does this grant?
It's through the state.
Who did it say?
I was always
The
gonna
comptroller.
budget for a new one and apply for the grant, and if it didn't come through, then we was doing
And see,
But he
that's
wants
where
to order it now.
Yeah. But
Trying to get
that's what I asked earlier, the last time. If we order it now, does that kick us out of the grant funding? I mean, if we
No.
got it, if we order a new one,
Well, if you order a new one, you can't apply the grant to the new one you've already ordered.
let's see.
You're
But,
ahead
but
of the game.
That's why he wanted to
Or
ask.
we could order another new one.
You'd
With
have
the
to
grant.
order another new one.
yeah. And what I don't want to do is commit 600,000 out of this budget. And that's the reason I was asking for input, so we could talk it through. And if we order a remount, and promise we order the remount, are they gonna let us change and say, oh, wait a minute, we want a new one? You know, because.
Those are the questions.
And is there gonna be a new box to put on a new chassis?
Those are the questions. he was
See,
gonna
because
ask.
then is that gonna bump him out even further?
So if we budget for a new one, right now, if we do a remount, we got the money to do it. If the grant comes through, we can order a new chassis with your grant money.
I can't, I don't know if you can or not.
See, that's.
You'd have to know what the rules are, if it's a brand-new ambulance, period,
Right.
or not, just a chassis.
I meant to say another ambulance.
But now that I think I understand it maybe a little better, if it's just a 4-month delay, we just leave it like it is and plan on ordering a new one, after October
And
1st.
the problem is, we don't know all the rules because there's still.
Yeah, because we don't know the rules. If we stay with a new one,
Well, I mean, it's like the rules that comptroller wrote for SB 22 that
change.
everybody applied for and got the money, and then they wrote the rules as they went along.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a
I guess
chance.
what we said today is that you got an email update that there was a timeline, like in the next month or something.
So,
Have all the rules finalized for January.
So for a
well, it
month,
says
for a
they
month.
start applying for the ambulance October 1st.
Okay.
So,
And it says if you get one year, you can't apply the next. But I think it's like every 2 years.
so if we buy a new one and use, well, if it comes October 1st and we don't buy a second new one, we wouldn't get it next year, or we just carry it over to next year. And the way it sounds, he's not gonna get a new one until 27 anyway.
True, but I mean, if you have one out there on order after October, you don't get the grant, you're still on order, that don't mean you're not gonna get the grant money for it.
But we're a month away from being October 1st and making.
He'll wanna order it, I mean, if he has to wait, he'll want a PO October 1st. I don't know when they will award.
Well, but when we, October 1st, if you cut him the PO for the 300,000 that we've got budgeted, it's ordered.
Right.
And it's a new ambulance. And so.
But you
and-
can't
and then-
apply that to the grant, cause
And
then,
then what we do is take the 300,000 for this year and earmark it for a new one the following year. Because we get two new, everything wears out at the same time, we buy them all at the same time. And so
So that other one would be another,
I don't know how you
well,
would.
but that would be good though. In other words, with the
Yeah.
spares that we have, yeah, I kinda lean toward,
I don't know how you would earmark it for the next year if you applied for the grant now.
no, the grant you buy the new one with this year. When the new one comes in, we pay for it grant money.
But you can't if you pre-order it before you apply for the grant.
October 1st, right?
But that doesn't mean they're gonna award it
And there's
till,
a chance, guys, with us having 5 stations, 7 ambulances, we're a long ways from a desert. We might not get it all.
it ain't about the desert though, it's about your call volume in your towns, your 35, 82.
But in
Well,
reality,
on that deal,
I disagree. I mean, if we're sitting here with 7 ambulances and somebody out in West Texas doesn't have a single ambulance, it ought to go to them, not to us. I mean, for a county our size, the legislator's not gonna ask you and I, but in reality, that should be the way it works. But if they do it like they did SB 22, they're just gonna blanket tax dollars out there and let it go.
The way they talked at one conference, I mean, there's a lot of them out there that 45 minutes to an hour wait.
Just to get there and
Just
then back,
For
yeah.
one to get there, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna.
And then they don't have a major trauma center for another 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Okay, I brought that up and stuttered all around it, but,
But here's what's gonna determine that too. You gotta have somebody that'll run it.
well, but,
If they're getting paid, they ain't gonna go out there in the middle of nowhere for no money.
well, but the thing is, it doesn't have anything to do with salaries. So, I mean, if I follow that logic, if you don't have people, you don't get a bus. I could do that, but, I mean, I don't think we make a bad decision necessarily either way.
They do like they do fire department deals, they look at volumes.
Yeah.
They don't look at just, yeah, they don't have nothing. Well, okay, we can get you something, but they're not gonna spend, I'm not gonna say they're gonna give something. They do it where it's most needed, or what will benefit that money. They just do.
But if it made more sense, who would need it the most? Somebody doesn't have one or somebody's got 5? I mean,
But you can have 5 and still run 40,000 calls a year, and you're still in need.
And-
Or you
and-
can have 1 and run 10 calls a year. They're gonna go with the 40,000, even though you got 5.
see,
It's by,
if
how
it-
many people can they help?
the other thing I would look at there is we're 20 minutes from a major trauma center. Those out in West Texas is 2 hours from a major trauma center.
So they leave the application open for 30 days. No later than the 30th day after the first day of the qualified county's fiscal year, the county may submit a grant application to the comptroller. The county may only submit one application each fiscal year. If the county is awarded a grant under this program, the county is ineligible to apply for an additional grant.
How much money did they give Shelley? Total money?
For a county with a population between 10,000 and 68,750, the award not to exceed 350.
So we could get up to $350,000,
So
which
what-
buys an ambulance.
What does Wes want to do?
It's based on the distance from a qualified county seat to the nearest level 1 trauma facility, the county's ability to otherwise obtain the money necessary to provide adequate ground ambulance service. That says they shall consider that. it may not reduce your budget of a qualified rural ambulance service provider for the county's next fiscal year. I mean, that's it.
Like I said, it goes back to if we put the number in there, I mean, we already know we gotta go to the max tax rate anyway.
So what does Wes want to do?
If I'm Wes, as a department head, I want it all. And that's where we have to go decide what we need to do
I know.
budget-wise. What Wes wants to do, my understanding is, and you guys that got the email might correct me, he wants to order right now a remount.
Because he'll get it faster.
And he will get it 4 months faster than he will a brand new one. But again, you're gonna have an old box that a couple years down the road, we're gonna say, oh, wait a minute, this box doesn't accommodate everything. I mean, you already told us, you know, issues with mounts now because some new computer software, some system he's got, remember, he just said, two down per mounts. Guys, do what you want, I don't.
Well, my only thing is, you know, once again, why are we telling Wes how to run his operation? If Wes wants to order a remount, I would think that he's the most qualified person to make that decision rather than any of the four of us. I just throw it out there.
Well, if you follow that logic,
Yeah.
from a management position, if you do everything that everybody wants, because they know best, when they don't know what the budget situation is, the finances are, you'd be broke in about 3 weeks. But, because, I mean, but
Okay, but there's more involved here than budget, okay?
really, okay. I mean, you gotta pay for it, Judge. You know,
I understand that.
it's pretty simple math. Whenever you're spending more than you bring in your personal budget, you're gonna go broke. And
I
the county's
understand
no
that.
different. It's just taxpayers counting on us not to do that.
But what do the citizens of this, what is the cost to them, okay?
They want us to do our job. and
They want us to do what's best for them.
He's
okay?
shooting for the remount.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's shooting for the remount.
He's fine with it.
He's shooting for the
And
remount.
I
that's
thought
what
we
I'm
agreed to
saying.
put money in the budget for a new one, apply for the grant. If we don't get it, we'll get the remount.
But he
That's
wants
what we
to order
said.
it now.
See, that's the
Well,
problem.
we're probably gonna have to hold off on ordering it because you can't order it before the grant.
Yeah, and that's what I think. You hold
Can't
on.
order it for the budget. He don't have enough money in his budget right now to order a remount, does he?
No.
No,
So we have to wait till October 1st.
right, and then he orders a new one.
Well,
What he's
And
gonna,
it's gonna take him 4 months longer than it would to do a remount.
and he's gonna see if he.
if he orders a new one and we get the grant, the grant's not gonna cover that new one we ordered.
And if Jason, well, if we do it after October 1st, it will, right? I think that's what-
Once they let the grants out, yes.
But what Adam is saying that Wes has said is he will get in line for a new one, and it's not gonna happen between now and the time we get the opportunity to, he will ask for a new one if the grant's accepted, and that makes sense.
You might
Well,
not
that's
receive
what-
it
He'll move it up in line.
27.
But
I
that
thought
would move
that's
it
what
up
we
in-
agreed on. She was gonna make a PO for him this next year, but he probably wasn't gonna get the machine till 27, but
I just didn't want his request to order without us collectively discussing it. And I think if we got the money in there October 1st, he orders. If we get the grant, then we don't spend general fund money and we buy it using the grant.
you won't be able to use that grant if you already have it ordered.
Shelley?
What?
We're saying we don't know the rules, right? So, yeah, if
I
we
mean, you
ordered
can't
October
order it
1,
now and then apply for the grant.
No, you can't order it and then apply for the grant. You gotta wait.
So that, if I follow that logic, if I spend my money on a remount, now I bought me two.
Correct.
And earlier I was hearing you say, oh, it wouldn't have an impact on the budget.
If I change the budget to the remount, that's $290 something, wasn't it? And when he applies for the grant, when the grant comes in, I budget the revenue and the expense at the same time, that's zero.
Yeah, but he's gonna have already committed to the remount.
Right.
He can
So
commit if
now
you
we
get the
bought the
grant.
remount.
Correct.
Get
And
the new one
then
too.
when the 300,000 comes
That's what I'm
in,
saying.
we're buying another ambulance.
That's correct.
So, yeah, that's, anyway.
But it's not, it won't be in the budget as two, it'll be in the budget as one. If we get the grant, then it's budgeted, if we don't, then.
Yeah, well, then if you get the, okay, if you get the grant,
Do the
then
remount, get it going, that's what you
Exactly.
have to
Yeah.
do. If we get the grant, apply, get the new one coming, but that new one ain't gonna happen until 27 with that grant waived out.
Well, that remount's gonna be in 2017 is what he said.
yeah, he's saying it ain't a 4 months difference. That's.
Did something happen that he wants to order it right now?
Yeah, he
I mean,
wants to, the deal is, he wants to order right now.
I know, but he wasn't in that big a hurry when we talked to him. What, did something happen?
We're
that
a
we-
month away from new budget.
That's what I'm saying, we gotta wait till new budget, because they don't have the money to do one right now.
Right.
And we can't put money into his budget.
We already had. We put money into his October 1
You're
budget.
talking about that,
The new budget,
yeah.
yes.
And so he can't do anything before then anyway.
He's gotta wait till October 1st.
Yeah, so
Same way we have two on our stuff.
So do we have a new one in there or a remount?
we got a new one.
Oh, he's covered.
Yeah, he's gonna get a new ambulance. Okay.
I thought it was too.
Well,
What?
I thought he wanted
what's
a
it,
remount.
yeah, I mean, he's fine with the remount, so, I mean, we can change that budget amount to help offset what we just changed at the sheriff's office too. What's the difference between a remount and a new ambulance?
Well, your box is, it depends on which ambulance
About
he's taking the box off of.
90, wasn't it?
About 80. You went from 290 to 3. Yeah, it's about 60.
Well, I thought it was more than that, isn't it?
That's about 60.
I mean, if we could,
Depends on what they gotta do in the back of the box. If it's got the new buckles and everything, that's a lot different.
Well, and you got
You got a cod.
the cot and the, whatever you call it.
so if he does a remount, he doesn't have to spend $71,000 on the new cot, new cradle, right?
If the cots are.
I thought
The
that
new
was,
cots are getting 10 years, 12 years old.
I thought that was part of it, that was like 37,000 just for the cot and the,
Well,
The cot and the cradle is
That's,
69
he's
cents.
gotta restart replacing all the cots regardless.
so I thought that was gonna be part of, whether it's a rebuild or a new one, he's
No,
gotta get another
gonna
cot.
replace the cots one a year.
Yeah, that's not in that price.
No.
We leave the new,
Because you remember we talked about it, if it was 71,
Now, it's like they had 10%.
Right, which I know he was talking about ordering, but I thought it was for the new.
the cot and the cradle was 71,000, and we said, hey, those two items alone automatically consume our new bill money.
we leave the new price in and he does a remount, that'll give some cushion for something else.
Because but he's going to get in line for the remount, and he said if he got his new grant money, he would try to transition that to the new one.
To the new, if he gets his grant, that's right. But right now,
I still don't know how you do that.
See, because,
Since it's already on order before you apply for the grant.
yeah,
but, so we're saying remount.
That's why he's gonna go make a phone call, he'll know more, we just don't know that answer right now.
But you're saying remount,
oh, do we have to approve budget today?
What?
are you saying remount?
I mean, that's what he, yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what we want, we can change the budget.
You're saying remount?
That's what we've already said.
That's what, that's what he,
Well, I guess.
I thought we
can
agreed
back
to
the
put
budget
money
down.
in for a new one.
I keep hearing different things.
We
Was
did,
gonna- We was gonna budget for a new one.
we did.
Anticipating it would be covered by a grant.
Right, right.
That's how we was not going to budget, that's how we cut his budget from 800,000 to 314,000.
And I think what the deal is, he's just decided since he can get the remount quicker, that 4 months quicker, that he would go with a remount if we didn't get the
And I
grant.
was thinking that with two extras, those two extras would help us get through that 4-month period.
All right. We-
Okay, are we ready to move on?
I don't,
Any changes for the precincts?
No, I sent you
I
my
want to
numbers.
bring one more thing up to the fire departments one more time. Did we get it straightened out last week on the 1750 and all of
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to just one time just request that we give, they asked for 3,000 additional, I'd like to give them something, whether it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever.
we've
Anybody
hashed
for
that
any of
about
that?
3 times, but
mean, I'd love to give them
Silence
everything
is
they want.
deafening.
I'd love to give them everything in the world that they want, we just don't have it. It's just all there is
We've
to it.
discussed this a dozen times in front of the media, and we've said, hey, we spent $700,000 last year, and that ain't made the media one time.
So is that a no?
I think we better wait.
Okay. They at least got their 250 per call. All right.
And
We
the
ready to
other-
move on to-
And the other numbers that we had increased
Yeah.
the last 7 years,
All
each
right,
year.
the call volumes, did you see the numbers on call volumes?
Right.
Times 1750 now, that's 46,000 this year, it'll be a bunch more than that next year.
But if I
Anybody
can just
have
say
anything?
something about the call volumes.
Go
This
ahead.
year, we're gonna be way over what we were when I sent Shelley for FY '24. We're gonna eclipse that. Value's probably gonna hit 1,000. That's how much we're calling them out. So the 250, it helps, but in the grand scheme of things, it's very little. All I will say is, now you got a tough job and a tough decision to make. Whatever little bit, it's gonna go to equipment. It's gonna go where it needs to go. And they need equipment. And I can give you some specifics. I don't have a lot, but I can give you some specifics. They all need equipment. Suits, they all need suits. Because they have a lifespan. SCBA bottles, they have a lifespan. All that stuff has a lifespan. And the fundraising money, it's not what it was in previous years. You know, I went to Munster, you were at Munster, you're Munster. The turnout was low. So they need our help. That's all I'll say is, I know you got a tough job, but any little bit that you can give them, it's gonna go to protecting the citizens of this county. That's all I'll say.
There's no-
We don't,
there's no
the
denying
problem
that.
is, he's saying it's gonna increase from 500 to 1,000 in call volume. That's, 500 calls, and that may be one department times 1750 now, guys. It just, that's a huge number when you.
Well, they had almost 800 calls last year for Valley View. They're gonna near 1,000 this year. And their growth, you know the growth, you guys know the growth, they're growing. They're growing on County Road 200, they're growing on 922. That growth is gonna continue. So the call volume's obviously gonna go up. With the construction, that call volume has increased as well because of the number of accidents that happen on I-35. And that's just wear and tear on the equipment that they have.
Yeah, that's,
The money you give them will go to the equipment, but their needs, so they can do that.
but again, when's enough enough?
I understand, Mr. Hall,
I heard you, but I can't help you, but I heard you.
I understand that.
I mean, that's
And I'm not
600,000.
trying to fight you, I'm just saying, I'm
But
here
the
just to tell you
600
that it'll go to a good cause.
But the 700,000, 696 that we spent on radios last year, they could have probably done without the channel and put that toward some of these very concerns. But we've argued radios forever.
I understand that, but I can't fix last year, I'm just trying to help them this year.
Yeah, I understand, but,
Thank you, Keith.
yeah, good job. Good job.
So one more time, no interest?
Not right now.
How about executive session? Any interest there?
I don't have anything.
No action for 22?
No action for 22. Can't. Our proposed budget. Anybody for 23?
I don't have anything. Anybody else?
I think that's you, isn't it, adjourned?
Oh, no, 23 is open meeting.
No.
The
No, he said-
executive.
yeah.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Hold
I-
on, we gotta do 23 and 24.
Well,
We can't
23 is no action, 24 is no action.
Just cancel, no action.
Yeah.
All right.
Item number 25 is adjourned, and we've got that
I'll second.
motion from Adam Art.
I'll second it.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. We adjourn at
You didn't even give me time to say
12:31.
no.
You know what?